TNA Throwback 79, and it's time for the go home show before the Slammiversary pay-per-view that is on Sunday in this fantasy universe. So let's quickly recap what happened on the June 2nd last week's show, and then we're gonna segue onto this week's show. We got a four-way segment at the beginning, which led to Angle versus Aries and Morrison versus Carlito in non-title matches booked by Paul Heyman. As you already know, Carlito and Angle is the world title program, while Aries and Morrison is the X title program. Carlito defeated Matt Hardy to retain the global title, which led to Carlito versus Jeff at the pay-per-view. We got Crimson beating Matt Morgan, which is part of the tag program between Pope and Morgan and Crimson and Joe, who are the tag champs. Steiner and the Freak picked up a win. Austin Aries defeated Kurt Angle in a shocking manner via a distraction from Carlito, which I already explained last time, but this will make sense down the line. AOX over Danielson Cass. This led to a brawl, impromptu match between AJ and Eric Young. AJ got the pinfall with the Stars Clash. Then we got Sting challenging Abyss, but Abyss denied the match and let Sting put his career on the line, which will probably happen on this show. The main event, Carlito beat Morrison in a non-title match. So, June 9th, Impact Wrestling. The pay-per-view is on June 12th. So, the show opened with Team Fight Club members in the ring, which, again, EY, Homicide, Hernandez, Eddie Kingston, and Low-Key. A little bit of history. This stable was formed back at the beginning of the year, or I think it may have been in December, when Eric Young watched the movie Fight Club, and he learned the concept of you never talk about Fight Club and shit like that. So he gathered together Homicide and Hernandez. They got a couple matches together and they just got around the same idea. Then I brought Low-Key and Eddie Kingston. I thought there would be a good addition. This whole thing got together because I had no idea what to do with Eric Young, and I was sick of him being in the. I was sick of Eric Young being in the undercard, so I want to bring him back to the mid card. So that's why I put him with a stable. So EY told AJ they go way back. They have an agenda. He talks about the Originals have an agenda. So the Originals helped Heyman take over Bischoff 2 months ago at the Lockdown pay-per-view. Originals beat Bischoff's World Congregation. That's how the stable disbanded, and that's how Bischoff was fired from TNA. So yeah, this is kind of a continuation from this storyline. Eric Young and Team Fight Club played the bad guys who are accusing the Originals of helping Heyman. Basically, they're playing up that the Originals are kiss asses, or I don't know what is the expression. They're trying to help the current authorities so they can get more opportunity. But AJ said that they don't have an agenda. They just wanted the cancer that Bischoff was gone from TNA, and that was the truth, because Bischoff and his faction was ruling over TNA for more than 6 months. They took over back, I think, in October or November, and they ruled up until the pay-per-view. So Styles challenged EY and the rest of the Team Fight Club to a 10-man tag at the pay-per-view. So this is not gonna be a long-term thing. I just decided I will put AJ, Daniels, Cass, and Beer Money in one more multi-man match, just because AJ lost to Morrison at the pay-per-view last time, at the Sacrifice pay-per-view. And now we are headed towards the BFG series. I'm gonna run the BFG series this year. They're gonna begin on June 16th, which is next week. So this is basically gonna be a one match deal. I'm not gonna continue this feud. Probably gonna have the faces go over, which is obvious they'll go over. because after this pay-per-view we are headed towards, we are beginning the road to Bound for Glory. We are beginning with the BFG series, and it's way more important, and I have plans for the world title as well, so I'm not gonna waste time with these faction wars. The first match on the show, Beer Money defeating RVD and Jerry Lynn. The whole purpose of the match is to put Beer Money over ahead of the pay-per-view. Then we got backstage segment with Sting. He was contemplating about putting his career on the line in order to face Abyss. Then we got a Steiner promo, one of those crazy promos, and he talked about becoming the World Tag Champions with the Freak as they're headed towards the ring, and they're gonna face the World Tag Champs in a non-title match. Steiner is always entertaining, so if you actually can imagine a Steiner promo here, it's gonna be really great. Non-title match, Crimson and Joe against Steiner and the Freak. It ended in a no contest when Pope and Morgan got involved. Of course, the point here is to finally get a final angle before the pay-per-view where Crimson and Joe are gonna face Pope and Morgan for the titles. Gunner promo, he tried to strike back at Anderson, saying he's gonna be ruthless, all this BS. Jeff Hardy cut the promo on Carlito, he vowed to become the new global champion. In a singles match, Gunner defeated prize fighter Ray. Anderson came out for a staredown, so this is how this feud will be built. And I already talked about this being a one-time deal. John Morrison defeated Robbie E. No signs of Robbie's friend yet. He said that it's gonna happen after the pay-per-view, so we're gonna wait. Aries came out. Aries told Morrison he may be good, but he ain't the greatest man that ever lived. So this is gonna be the X-title match at the pay-per-view. Heyman asked Carlito backstage to remain calm during the contract signing, because if you follow the storyline, Angle has been doing despicable things in the last few weeks after turning heel, and Carlito is pissed off with him. So Heyman just wants to ensure that there's gonna be a nice atmosphere for the contract signing. Kazarian defeated Homicide in a singles match. Then we got the big angle with Sting. Sting came to the ring for the big decision. He called out Abyss, and he told Abyss there is no other choice but to put his career on the line. Because, yeah, that's stupid, but when you think about it, Sting is at the end of his career. I know that in real life he continued up until 2014 or 13 or whatever, but Sting is a very old man here, and what better way to retire than have his dignity. So basically Abyss squashed him at last month's pay-per-view, so Sting wants to get his revenge. Abyss demands his career on the line, and Sting is gonna give it to him, but Sting is gonna get this last match with Abyss. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna have Sting retire after such a stupid build for like one show. And I'm kind of spoiling my own show, but if anyone follows my booking, they know that I'm booking in a logical way, so I'm not gonna book stupid shit. And if I book stupid shit, it's not gonna involve one of the top talents of the show. So then we got Jeff Hardy beating Amazing Red in a singles match. This match is just a match. Then we got Heyman coming out. He introduced Lito and Angle for the contract signing. A standard contract signing, but after making the match official, after signing the contract, Lito will cut a passionate promo on Angle, and he will tell him that his victory in the Lockdown series wasn't a fluke. If anyone forgot, because it was a long time ago, there was a Lockdown series tournament back in February, March and April, leading up to the Lockdown pay-per-view, which concluded on the Go Home show. The final match was Lito versus Angle, and the winner would go on to Lockdown to face the Pope for the world title, and Lito basically beat Angle clean there, and then beat the Pope clean to win the world title. So here's Lito telling Angle that this victory wasn't a fluke, and he's gonna show him that he's a different man. He's not a punk ass. He's the real deal in TNA. So the main event is going to be Styles and Daniels versus the Pope and Morgan in a tag match. This match also ends in a no contest when the Fight Club attacked the babyfaces. Then we got the rest of the originals coming out, and the show is gonna basically end in a chaotic brawl. This is how the show will wrap up. You know, my style of booking is during the TV I rarely have clean finishes, because I believe that on TV you need to build up to the matches that are gonna be on the pay-per-view. Sometimes it's good to have a clean finish on TV, like Morrison beating Robbie E or Jeff Hardy beating Amazing Red, but when you got two teams, or like two people heading into a pay-per-view where you need to sell the pay-per-view, you can't have one of them lose, because people are gonna think they're losers. So you can't have a clean finish. The whole point of building up, the whole point of having a TV show is to build up the pay-per-view. So you can have a clean finish on TV, just like it was in the Attitude Era. You do a DQ, you do an interference, then you do a promo, and then you build up to the match. So this is my philosophy. It may be stupid in real life if you imagine that most of the big matches on TV end in a no contest, but I believe this is the way to build up the show. So we are headed towards the Slammiversary pay-per-view. This is gonna happen on next episode, episode 80. So we are reaching 80 episodes of this game that I started back in I started back January 1st, 2010, just when Bischoff took over and Hogan. Then I quickly got rid of Hogan. So a year and a half into the game, so yeah, this is gonna be the end here, so stay tuned for the pay-per-view.